Welcome to Planet Classroom. I am Orb. Join me as your virtual guide on a journey of global learning called Planet Classroom. You will hear stories from artists, musicians, dancers, technologists, game makers, filmmakers, innovators, and creators of all kinds from around the world. It's time to engage our imaginations, share our ideas, and explore solutions for a brighter future for all. Our planet is a classroom where learning together brings us together.
A lot of the girls that are referred to the Safe Harbor program are within the child welfare system typically. That might be they've experienced abuse or neglect within the family home, maybe witnessed domestic violence in the family home, and then in addition to that layer of trauma, have also experienced possibly a form of exploitation within the community.
The impact of trauma, secondhand smoke, and the environment on human health are the themes of today's show. We will be discussing 3 films that focus on these important topics. The first film, Unharnessed, now screening on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, explores a unique rehabilitation program for young people who are survivors of sex trafficking. The documentary focuses on Zoe, a 15-year-old girl with a traumatic past, as she learns to navigate and overcome challenges through equine-assisted therapy with an ultimate goal of finding mental balance and living a gratifying life.
The time I came here and I got on a horse, I was extremely scared. Like, I didn't know what to do. Like, I was just stuck there, kind of. Like, I didn't move the horse. I didn't want to move. I didn't have no encouragement to move.
There's enough lack of control in their lives. I want them to have this moment of feeling in control.
Evelyn Levin, you are on Planet Classroom.
I wanted to explore this fascinating human-animal bond and the effects horses can have on people. So while looking for the right story, I met Nancy Rosen, and she introduced me to ways horses can help people not just with physical disabilities, but also with deep trauma.
A lot of the things that they're doing in the sessions are so therapeutic outside of just the horseback riding. So when they're putting the bridle in, that the horse's mouth, I've heard Nancy say, okay, now wait until the horse gives consent, things like that. Teaching that our bodies are our own and the horses' bodies are their own. That's really important for these young girls to really be able to take in.
Because sometimes the lessons are not riding, but the way people interact with horses gives a lot of feedback to their state of mind.
I can't really say animal-assisted therapy is better than traditional therapy. In fact, I believe they complement each other, but there are certainly distinctive differences. For example, Nancy would always tell me that some of her clients feel less defensive around horses in a barn than they do with a therapist in an office setting, because horses have this ability to provide comfort and immediately alleviate stress and anxiety. I think another important difference is that horses always give undeniable nonverbal feedback about your inner turmoil. So for example, you can't come in and say you don't feel angry when the horse moves away and avoids contact with you. So in other words, horses offer this alternative and even more primal way to keep your emotions in check and be honest with yourself.
My name is Vivian Zhang. I'm from New York and I am on Planet Classroom. From the film Unharnessed, it was inspiring to see the growth one can have simply from a bond with a horse. I never thought a horse would be able to understand your emotions. 2 takeaways from this film is to understand that there are people out there who cares and willing to help you with open arms, and to understand that life or situation might be difficult, but to never give up because that is how you will grow and learn as an individual.
My name is Kofi Mason Suse. I am from Sierra Leone and I am on Planet Classroom. I was really surprised to learn that horses and other domestic animals like dogs could help troubled young people develop so much courage and happiness, given the right support. It was also inspiring to see how well Zoe coped with the horse's help, especially after hearing about what she went through prior to joining the Safe Harbor program.
My name is Mabinti Mambu and I'm from Sierra Leone and I am on Planet Classroom. I'm really surprised by the way she used a horse to overcome her trauma. The first time she arrived at the place, she was traumatized, but then she started interacting with the horse and she was happy and calm.
My name is Nancy Mansari and I'm from Sierra Leone and I'm on Planet Classroom. The nature of human is to have pain. At first, when she came to the Arbor program, she was a bit sad, but as time goes on, she was able to cope. Every time the girls ride the horse or even go there, it helps them to forget their problems. The takeaway would be that horses are not what people think. They are kind and people should treat them as humans.
What did students do after school to address the issues of intimidation and peer pressure towards adult smokers? Shot with only close-ups and a couple of wide shots, the experimental film Evil Nicotine, now showing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel, doesn't use any dialogue to show young people standing up to the dangers of secondhand smoke.
My name is Anaina Dalal. I'm from India and I'm on Planet Classroom. The first thing that struck me about the film was the lack of any dialogue, which made it all the more effective. It aptly conveyed the choking effects secondhand smoke or nicotine can have on children and how it silences them by stripping them of their well-being. It did not change the way I felt about smoking. More so, it reinforced the fact that no matter what, it is harmful to its direct and subsidiary consumers. For the youth watching the film, I believe the main takeaway would be the ability they have to make an impact in the smallest of ways, be it by simply understanding another's struggle or taking a firm stance against what is right and wrong. As a result, it would show us the power we hold in the current world, stepping up against leaders and authorities by using our voices for the betterment of our societies.
Hi, my name is Ian Nava. I'm from Colorado and I'm on Planet Classroom. One of my takeaways for the youth audiences would really be just to not do it. Don't do it. Don't start smoking. It's horrible for your body. Vaping as well is pretty bad for you. It's a long, slippery slope that leads to addiction, and just the nicotine itself will absolutely destroy your body, and it's not a good thing for you.
My people have lived out here for thousands of years. Now that industry is in our doorstep, we are duty bound to uphold our heritage, uphold our traditional values. But up here, people around this particular area in the Kimberleys, we've never really engaged with industry. We're constantly being led to believe as Indigenous people that the benefits that will come from this development are going to invest into a sustainable future for Aboriginal people, are going to invest into our sort of self-determination, yet we don't even have, the right to veto on our own lands. So logically, it doesn't make sense. How are we ever going to generate self-determination if we still don't have the right or capacity to control our land?
Stand your ground, because nature needs you. While industrial resource developments continue to put at risk natural surroundings, people across Australia are standing their ground for nature. Nature needs you. Now screening on the Planet Classroom YouTube channel is the story of 5 everyday Australians who are working with their communities to minimize the impacts of climate change on these places by keeping oil, coal, and gas in the ground.
My name is Rutvi Jain. I am from Ahmedabad, India, and I am on Planet Classroom. After seeing the video, I realized that nature is very beautiful. We are so much dependent on nature. Yet, the government, who makes decisions on behalf of the common man, for the goodness of the common man, how can they be so rude and unattentive towards the primitive and aboriginal lifestyle of humans? Humans are basically characterized to coexist with nature and other living creatures. But with the so-called industrialization, we are on a path of destroying the natural ecosystems once and for all. We, the generation, will have to discharge more sensible responsibility in a way to protect the environment, nature and its ecosystem, primitive lifestyle and aboriginal values towards coexistence. In doing so, we will have to strike the balance between modern needs of economy and traditional values. We are actually in a dilemma to bring trade-off between nature and its exploiters.
They're drilling actually through 3 basins to get to the gas down the bottom, and without even the fracking, the drilling fluids are going to have so many toxins, they're going to have this mixed water, and once an aquifer's been fractured, it can never be repaired. Once it's been polluted, it can never be cleaned up. So this is permanent damage, and it should never be brought into the food chain.
My name is Sofia Rosenblatt. I am from Chile, and I am on Planet Classroom. Unfortunately, a lot of natural landscapes today are under threat from the oil, coal, gas, and other industries, which is why I was moved by the determination and selflessness of the 5 people featured on this film, whose main purpose is to help preserve the natural landscapes of Australia. These people's efforts extend to way more than just keeping the beauty of nature. The destruction of nature also affects the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the culture of many communities, and individuals like the ones featured on this movie play a huge role in maintaining life as we know it. It takes a lot of courage, creativity, and kindness to do what they do, and people watching this film should look up to them. I believe what we should take away from this film is that our natural resources and beautiful landscapes as we know them today are at risk. And it takes a collective effort from communities all around the world to play an active role in stopping this. This film teaches us that just like these 5 individuals, anyone can participate, even with small steps. The more awareness that is brought to the issue, the bigger the chance of stopping the coal, oil, and gas industries from continuing the destruction of our planet.
You only have to listen to the sound of the birds to feel very connected to nature. We can all reconnect with nature simply by visiting nature and not forgetting that it is here. It makes you happy.
Hi, my name is Sofia Leal. I'm from Colombia and I'm on Planet Classroom. It is a devastating fact that humans have done irreversible harm to Earth, and that there's things that will never go back to natural. However, and although permanent damage has been made, hope remains, and action must take place. And fortunately, we can see that there's communities already helping the world by getting closer to nature, getting to know more about what surrounds us, being conscious of the importance each organism holds with their ecosystemic services. And most importantly, protecting said organisms and ecosystems is the duty we have to help this globe. We, the youth, must be conscious that we will have to face several problems that we know by the moment and that we know will get worse in the future. if there's no action. We shall use our minds and direct our efforts towards solving the problems by the root. Or in other words, we have to act now, regardless of being young. And being aware of what the future brings upon, we're capable of granting the necessary solutions.
We certainly had a lot of good ideas to share with you today. Thank you to all of our guests. Eveline Levin, Rootvi, the two Sophias, Anina, Kofi, Mabinity, Nancy, Vivienne, and Ian. Don't miss Unharnessed, Evil Nicotine, and Nature Needs You, now showing on the Planet Classroom Network YouTube channel. That's all, my human friends, for this week. I leave you with a reminder to explore your world, express yourself, discover, create, and use your imagination. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.